15th of December, Rabbi Moore, Parsha, Hashavua, Vayechi, with Rashi.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Hello, Rabbi. How are you?
Baruch Hashem. Baruch Hashem. Yeah, my son is a little bit sick, but that's why it's delayed a bit. But amen. Okay.
I think we're on Pasuk 2.
Right.
In chapter Mem Chet.
Right. Okay. Go ahead, please, Lou.
Okay, Mayor, Pasuk 2 in chapter Mem Chet, 48.
Okay, thank you.
Vayaged liYaakov Vayomer Hine bincha Yosef ba elecha Vayischazek Yisrael Vayeshev al Hamita. So it was told to Yaakov, saying.
Okay, so that's not an accurate translation. It doesn't say it was Vayugat Yaakov. It says Vayaged. He's told Yaakov. And Rashi's going to dwell. Who's the he? Okay, but the actual meaning over here is Vayaged Yaakov means he told Yaakov. Okay? With a messenger. Let's put it this way.
Okay, he told Yaakov, saying, behold, your son Yosef has come to you, and Yisrael strengthened himself, and he sat on the bed.
Right. He sat up in bed. I think I translated it.
Vayashev means to sit up.
Yeah, in this context, as opposed to lying. Right? Vayeshev means sat on the bed.
Right.
But, yeah. Vayischazek Yisrael means I translate Yisrael summoned his strength. Vayischazek Yisrael. He summoned his strength and sat on the bed. Means he was normally in his norm, in that state at that time, he was too weak really to even sit up. But Yavi Yisrael at that point, because he knew Yosef was coming, he pulled himself together, as they would say in English. He pulled his strength together, summoned his strength, and sat on the bed. Okay?
Okay, so Rashi says, Vayaged, he told, Ha-Magid liYaakov, the messenger told Yaakov, Velo Feirosh me, but it did not specify who. V'harbe mikraos kitzrei lashon, and there are many psukim that are abbreviated like this.
Right.
Okay, that's that. Vayischazek Yisrael. Yisrael strengthened himself. Amar af al pi shehu v'ni melech hu. He said, or he thought, even though that he is my son, he is a king. chalek lo kavod, and I will do him honor.
or I will apportion him honor.
Apportion. I will
Or
apportion.
give him honor. Okay, yeah. Achalek means to apportion.
I will apportion him honor. Mikan shechol kin kavod lemalchus. So from here, we must.
One gives honor, one apportions honor to the Malchus, to
royalty.
Royalty. Yeah. What I want to make a point is, okay, let's finish the Rashi because there's an important point over here.
Shechol kin, is that like chelek? To apportion?
Yeah, again, one apportions honor to kings, to royalty.
V'chein Moshe chilek kavod lemalchus, and similarly Moshe apportioned honor to the king, the royalty.
Because even when he was speaking with Paro, that's the next part of the pasuk which Rashi is going to quote, when he was warning Paro about there's going to be the Makas B'chairos, he said as follows:
Vayardu chol avadecha ela eli Eli, and they descended all of the servants.
It's actually a future tense. It's not Vayordu, it's Vayordu.
And they
all these servants of yours,
all the servants of you to me.
All words, Vayordu chol avodecha ele Eli. All these servants of yours will come down to me. And they'll say, Jewish people, get out of here. We've had enough. This is it. Okay? Now, in what way that was honoring Paro? Because in actual fact, what was going to happen was Paro himself was going to come to Moshe and say, Moshe, get out. Right? We've had enough. Right? Get out as soon as possible. But Moshe, out of honor of Paro, in order not to, shall we say, degrade him, or at least apportion him honor to show that this is only going to happen to his servants and not to Paro himself. So Moshe expressed it that his servants, Paro's servants, are going to come to me. But in actual fact, what was going to happen was that Paro himself. But out of honor for the king, he didn't say that Paro himself is going to come, but he said your servants are going to come to me. Okay? Example number one.
Similarly for Eliyahu,
right.
Vayeshanes masnav, and he girded his loins.
Right? V'goymer means he ran ahead of Achav. After they had a thing, he told him, it says that Eliyahu showed honor to Achav, despite the fact he told him they had this thing, and he told him they had the showdown on Har Carmel, and
Achav
was a staunch opponent of Achav, because Eliyahu told him, you're leading the people astray, you're making them over to Avodah Zarah, and because of that, you're not going to have rain. And Achav tried his utmost to kill Eliyahu. But anyway, after that, I'm not sure exactly what point is it. Which pasuk is it? Pasuk Yud Ches. Yeah, that's later. It says that Eliyahu gave honor to Achav by running ahead of him and showing that he was showing honor to Achav by running ahead. Like an important person has like servants running ahead of him to warn the people. Not to warn, let's say warn, but to indicate to the people the king is coming and that they should owe honor to the king. So therefore, that's what Eliyahu did with regard to Achav, even though Lamais, obviously, Eliyahu did not hold of Achav. He didn't agree with his ways and his actions. But nevertheless, he still showed honor to Achav because he was a king. Okay.
Right.
Now the major question is, which Mefarshim discuss over here, L'chayra, Rashi, where did we have it? Where it says Vayishtacho Yisrael in Pasuk Lamed Aleph, just a few psukim ago, 2 psukim back. Yeah, it says that when Yaakov Avinu asked Yosef, swear to me, make an oath to me that you're going to bury me in the land of Canaan, in Maras Machpelah, and Yosef agreed. And then what does it say? Vayishtachu Yisrael arosh hamita. Yisrael bowed down towards the head of the bed. And who did he bow down to? Pretty much, obviously, he bowed down to Yosef. Okay? And Rashi says at that point, you know why? Tala be'idnei sagidle. A fox in its time, you've got to bow down to him. So therefore, since at this point, Yaakov Avinu needed Yosef, therefore, that's why he bowed down to him. So now, why all of a sudden Rashi now says a different thing? You've got to show, even though he was his son, nevertheless, he was a king. And that's why he got up and sat on the edge of the bed, even though really he didn't have the strength to do so, but he pulled the strength together and he sat on the bed in honor of Yosef. Now, why the two different, first of all, there's 2 different situations. I don't know what the time difference is between the 2 situations, but the first one was that Yaakov wasn't yet sick. He was still healthy, even though he was definitely ailing, because if you look past the Chav Tes, it says Vayikruvu Yimei Yisrael Lomos. Okay, the time approached for Yisrael to die. So obviously, he was not in his full vigor already. He was definitely ailing, as they say. Not necessarily he was sick, but he was weak. And therefore, that's why he asked him to, says he realizes his end is nigh. So therefore, that's why he asked Yosef to make this oath. Whereas over here, actually, it doesn't say he bowed down, number 1. And number 2, he also says that his form of honor to Yosef was that he summoned his strength and he sat on the bed, otherwise to just remain lying down. So obviously we're talking about the situation here is that Yaakov was really bad, so too weak even to sit up. But in order, out of honor of Yosef, he summoned his strength and sat up on the bed. So the question is why doesn't Rashi just say the same thing as he said before? So the Mefarshim explain over here. Yeah. Yeah, I'll read out my note over here. Levusha Oira points out that when Yaakov previously bowed down to Yosef, it was not out of respect for Yosef's rank. If so, he should have done so immediately when he arrived. Rather, it was a sign of acknowledgement for his undertaking to do him a favor. Here, however, even though Yosef came for his own benefit to receive Yaakov's blessing for his sons, Yaakov nevertheless summoned his strength to sit up even before Yosef entered, in spite of his ill health. This was in order to receive Yosef in a respectful manner, as was befitting a person of royal rank. So in other words, we're talking about 2 different situations. The previous time when Rashi says you've got to give honor, even the fox in its time, you've got to give honor to him, was explaining the fact that why Yisrael, Yaakov Avinu, bowed down to Yosef after, not when he came in. He spoke to him after he made the oath. So that was is because the Yosef was in a position to help him out, which nobody else was in a position to do that. And therefore, out of acknowledgement to him, therefore, that's why he bowed down to him. But not out of respect for the fact he was king. It was out of acknowledgement the fact he would agree to take upon himself to bury his father in the land of Canaan. As over here, why did Yosef bow down? Why did Yaakov bow down, or he didn't actually bow down to him over here, but he strengthened himself to give honor to Yosef. So therefore, Rashi says that's a proof from here that even though he wasn't expecting anything from Yosef at this point, he wasn't going to ask him any requests. On the contrary, Yosef wanted a blessing from Yaakov. And nevertheless, Yaakov showed honor to Yosef. Why was that? It's because he was a king. So in other words, the situations are two different situations. Okay, let's continue. Meir, Pasuk Gimel.
Gimel. Vayomer Yaakov el Yosef, Kel Shaddai, Nir'ah Elai Beluz, Be'eretz Canaan, Vayivarech Oti. So Yaakov said to Yosef, Kel Shaddai appeared to me at Luz, Be'eretz, in the land of Canaan, and he blessed me. Okay, no Rashi on that. Daled. Vayomer Eli, Hineni Mafrecha v'chirbiticha unataticha likahal amim v'natati et haaretz hazot v'zarcha acharecha achuzat olam. Oh, okay. So let's see. He said to me, Hineni, here. Oh, that's Peru. Okay, so I will, I guess, make you fruitful.
By the way, when we translate, how did you translate in Pasuk Gimel, Kel Shakai?
Well, I really didn't.
Oh,
I said Kel Shakai.
okay. So
So-
Rashi in various places says that the name Shakai, which is actually a proper name of HaKadosh Baruch Hu,
Oh,
it's the name comes from the word. The word is built is constructed from the form Shaddai. Is that HaKadosh Baruch Hu has sufficient power and wherewithal to provide for everybody. That's what Rashi says in a number of places. Okay, I translated it as the all-sufficing God. Okay.
so those are also the leathers symbolized on tefillin too, right?
On the mezuzah.
Oh, mezuzah.
I also,
like-
you're right, on the tefillin as well. Sorry, yes, you're right.
I translate it as Mother Nature.
I'm sorry.
Mother Nature. Because
What
it's
makes-
feminine.
Where is it feminine?
Shakai is feminine?
Yeah, it's the same root as the word for breast.
Ah,
Oh, that's interesting.
yeah. Oh, that's interesting. I don't know.
And nature is what provides for all of our needs.
Yeah, I understand. But I'm not sure. I don't know. It's a bit of an adventurous pshat.
That's me.
Adventurous.
Yeah, I have to give it a little bit of thought. There may be a connection. I mean, you're right that the woman's breasts are called shodai. That is true, but it could be that they provide for the child. That's why it's called that.
Right, but it's a metaphor that Hashem is providing for us.
Right. Okay. But it's I don't remember the use of word nature is limiting though. Kosh Baruch is much more than just nature, even indicated in that name. Kosh Baruch on the contrary, sometimes that term is used when referring to Kosh Baruch Hu as over and above nature. I can't think of a specific example right now, but anyway, okay.
Right, but that's the
Oh, yes.
that's
Give you an example.
that's the Yud K Vav K name.
No, but not
Over and above
necessarily.
nature.
Marshall, when Akash Baruch Hu told Avram Avinu is going to have a child, there's it. End of Lech Lecha. The end of Lech Lecha. Yeah. Avram ben Tishim Shama V'Seish Hashem. Avram was 99 years old. Vayiro Hashem el Avram. Hashem appeared to Avram. And he said to him, Ani Kel Shakai. Right? He uses that name. Isalech lefonai v'yei somi. That's what Rashi says. Ani hu sheyesh dai ve'eloi kusi lekol bria. Okay. In other places, Mikel Shakai Prayer Vey told Yaakov when he came back from Lavan. Let's see what she says over there as well. Kel Shakai. Shani kedai levorech shabrochas sheli. Okay, I'm not sure. I'm gonna have to give that a bit of thought. Okay, anyway, let's continue.
I would translate Kel Shakai as the Almighty nurturing God.
Okay. I translate it all sufficing. Yeah. But what actually Yaakov is referring to over here, Kel Shakai Yalai Beluz Be'ez Canaan, is referring back to what's mentioned in Parshas Vayishlach, chapter 35, Pasuk 11, where he said, "Vayom Elokim lo Elokim ani Kel Shakai, pray or revey, right? Be fruitful and multiply. Goy ukahal goyim yiyeh mimeka. A nation and a congregation of nations will be produced, will be descend from you. Umelachim echalotzecha yitzeru. And kings will come be produced from your loins." So Rashi says over there, prayer of why was he telling that you be fruitful enough? Because he was going to have another child. It's referring to Binyamin. Anyway, upon him, this is what he's referring to now, and this is what Rashi is going to explain. Okay, let's see. So let's see the Rashi here. No, Rashi doesn't say over here. Let's see Pasuk Dalet. Meir, let's continue. Pasuk Dalet.
Dalet. Vayomer Elai hineni mifarach.
Mafracho.
So he said he told him, he said to him, hineni, behold, I will make you fruitful, v'hir birticha, and you will multiply, I guess.
Right. I'm going to make you fruitful and multiply.
I multiply, okay. Unataticha l'kahal amim. I will
I'm going to
give
make you
you
into a congregation of nations.
Of nations. Oh, v'natati et ha'artazon. I'll give you this land, elizarcha, to your offspring. After you, there'll be an inheritance forever.
As an everlasting holding, which means
it's
everlasting
holding.
possession.
Achuzat lachzo is to hold or to grasp. Yeah.
Everlasting possession.
Okay. Okay. Very good. Rashi. Nitaticha l'kahal amim. I'll make you a congregation of many nations. Bisarani she'atidim latzet mimeni od kahal amim. Bisarani. That's new, from news. Bisoro Tovo.
Yeah, Bisrat.
Okay.
Bisrani, he, Kodesh Baruch Hu informed me, he gave me the
For me. Okay.
tidings, Shasidim lotzes many oid, that they're going to be produced from me, oid kahal v'amim. Another nation and, we're going to see what the words kahal, another congregation and nations.
And peoples, nations. Okay. Amim are nations. Okay. The Alpha P, Amarli, Goy Ukahal Goyim. And no, he said to me, a nation, and Kahal is a congregation.
It's a group of nations. One nation, Ukahal Goyim, and a group of nations was going to be, you're going to produce. No, it's going to come forth from you.
Okay.
Okay, so that's why Kodesh Baruch Hu gave him a promise. Then a nation and a group of nations are going to be produced from you.
Okay, Goy, Amarli al Binyamin. Okay, so he used Goy, the nation, a nation. He said to me about Binyamin.
Right.
Kehagoyim Hare Shinayim. But
me Binyamin. Right? And the prophet gave me a further promise that you can have a congregation of nations, which means at least two.
oh, so besides Binyamin, okay,
That's besides Binyamin.
right. The Shuv lo nolad li ben. The Shuv. Let's see.
And further, right,
further.
and there was no other child born for me. Because I didn't have any more children. So who could it be referring to?
Oh, so
Limdani, that taught me.
Okay.
Osid.
Echad mishvatai lehechalei. Oh, so one of
my tribes, one of my children is going to be split into two tribes.
Two tribes, Viata, and now Ota Matana. That is a gift.
Yeah, we'll see. Osa Matana ani no senacha.
Okay. That I will give you. Oh, okay. That's Hashem is saying that.
Now, here we're actually referring to the fact that, as you say, I noticed your surprise. That's considered a gift.
9 o'clock.
Okay. It's not referring to the fact there's a gift. I'm sorry, it's not the fact that they're splitting because they are disagreeing with each other and they're in dispute one with another. It means they will have the privileges of two tribes rather than one. So in what respect was that? So Rashi says later, Gabe the Degolim. There's what Rashi says. I'm just trying to remember. Is it? Kuven v'shimon yiyuli. This is what she saying. Yeah. I don't know where Rashi says it. Rashi says, "Kuven v'shimon yiyuli." Rashi. Yeah, here. Rashi in Pasuk Vav. Pasuk Vav, Rashi is going to say that. Pasuk Vav, end of Rashi in Pasuk Vav, Rashi is going to say what difference. In other words, it was more of a ceremonial and a prestigious honor, right? An union of prestige, rather than actual practical difference, whether they were considered one tribe or two tribes. But as far as how much each person got, each member of Klal Yisrael, of the tribe of Menashe and Ephraim, how much portion they got in the land, if they'd been one tribe or two tribes, that didn't make a difference whatsoever. Because even it went according to how many members of the tribe there were. So if there'd been one tribe, so there would have been a very large tribe, both Menashe and Ephraim together would have been actually the largest tribe. Nevertheless, the portion in the land with each person who got according to it went by a head count. So each person got his right to a certain amount of land. So it wouldn't have made a difference whether he was one tribe or two tribes. But what it did make a difference was that each one had a separate flag, had a separate leader. It was more an Indian of honor and prestige rather than actually practical nafkamina of having more land or less land. Okay, that's end the thing. Okay, want to carry on, Mayor? Oh, Lou, are you up to it? Okay, let's just Pasuk Hey.
You have to put your mic on.
Verse 5.
Yeah, please.
Vata shnei vanecha ha-noladim lecha be'eretz Mitzrayim ad boi elecha Mitzrayma lihem Ephraim u'Menashe Kireuvein v'Shimon yiyu li. And now your two sons that were born to you in the land of Egypt before I came to Egypt, they are mine. Ephraim and Menashe, like Reuven and Shimon, they shall be to me. So Rashi says, Hano ladim lecha ad boi elecha. And were born to you before I came to you. Livnei voi elecha.
Rashi's pointing out the word ad is equivalent of lifnei.
Right, before I came to you. Klomar shenoldu mi sheparashta mimeni, as to say that they were born after you departed from me. Ad sheba si etzel etz lecha.
Etzlecha.
Etz lecha. Etz lecha. Before, I'm sorry, until I came to you.
Yeah. Now, so let me point out what's behind Rashi's bothered about. The word ad means until, which means indicates there's a starting point and there's a finishing point. Okay, it's between from A until B. Okay, so Rashi's got a problem where there's no starting point mentioned over here. Okay, how can you say now your twins who were born to you in the land of Mitzrayim until I came to you? Okay, so you haven't just said from when, where's the starting point? You're saying until I came to you. So Rashi points out in this context, it means it's self-understood where the starting point is. Meaning, we were born to you after you left me until I came to you. I.e., it was before I came to you. Are you following?
Right. Yes.
Okay, That's basically what Rashi said.
Lihaim, they are mine. Be cheshbon sha'ar banai haim. They are counted with the rest of my sons. Litol chelek ba'aretz, to receive a portion in the land. Ish kenegdo, each corresponding to his correspondence, each to his correspondence.
See a corresponding portion. Meaning, so now the Chayra, I've got a note of it as well. Yeah, meaning we're going to see in the next Rashi, we'll see tomorrow, Bezat Hashem, that they would be considered under that tribe, meaning the children of the offspring of Menashe will be considered under the tribe of Menashe. The offspring of Ephraim would be considered under the tribe of Ephraim, as opposed to any future children born to Yosef. Those children will not be considered a tribe for themselves. Okay, we'll see Bez Hashem. This really follows on to the next Rashi we'll see tomorrow, Bez Hashem. Okay?
Very good.
Thank you, Rabbi.
Fine, have a great day. Kol Tov.
You too now. Call two.
Bye-bye. See you, Meir.
Okay.